popular audio streaming subscription service. As of the end of the third quarter, nature of the dispute. 1. In his memo to staff reflecting on highlights of 2021, the CEO of UMG, Lucian Grange, remarked on it being harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. 2. Spotify is the world's most popular audio streaming subscription service. As of the end of the third quarter of 2024, Spotify boasted more than 640 million monthly active users and 252 million subscribers. Spotify pays music companies like UMG for the right to license songs so it can play them on its streaming and subscription platforms. In 2023 alone, Spotify paid more than $9 billion in royalties to music labels and producers. Hip-hop is one of the most popular genres on Spotify, amounting to nearly a quarter of all streams on Spotify globally in 2023. 3. Spotify and UMG have a long-standing symbiotic business relationship. As one of Spotify's earliest supporters, UMG entered into a multi-year global license agreement with Spotify in 2020. UMG and Spotify collaborate on strategic marketing campaigns and products, and in 2024 announced an expansion of their strategic partnership through which Spotify will amplify music discovery and social interaction and enhance fan experiences across the platform for UMG's family of artists and songwriters. Based on UMG's financial reporting, Spotify paid UMG around $2.28 billion in 2023, which amounted to 19% of UMG's total revenues in 2023-4. Streaming is essential to UMG's current bottom line and its future business strategy. In a report related to the third quarter of 2024, UMG noted a nearly 29% year-over-year decrease in downloads and other digital revenue because of the continued format shift towards streaming across the music industry. UMG's long-term strategy relies on accelerating the growth of and monetization from streaming and subscription. In October 2024, UMG unveiled a new slogan, Streaming 2.0, which illustrates the importance UMG places on saturating the streaming market. 5. In 2024, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices to break through the noise on Spotify and likely other music platforms. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with a song not like us in order to make that song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. 6. UMG released Not Like Us, or the song, on May 4th, 2024. Pursuant to various contractual rights, UMG, via its division Interscope Records, Interscope, has exclusive control over the licensing of the song. 7. On information and belief, UMG charged Spotify licensing rates 30% lower than its usual licensing rates for Not Like Us, in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the song to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. Neither UMG nor Spotify disclosed that Spotify had received compensation of any kind in exchange for recommending the song. On information and belief, Spotify pays UMG licensing fees through the wires or mails. 8. UMG, directly or through Interscope, also conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. Bots are software programs designed to mimic human behavior to appear to be real social media accounts. One individual unknown to petitioner revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's label, i.e. Interscope, paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the first days of the release of Not Like Us, with the goal of jump-starting the song's spread and turning it into a crazy hit on the platform. The whistleblower described Spotify as the easiest platform to bot because it does not, like other streaming platforms, have certain security measures when it comes to bot protection. The whistleblower further revealed that on May 6, 2024, an individual affiliated with Interscope sent him a payment of $2,500 via the digital payments platform, Zelle, which is owned by a number of banks, and that he was promised another $2,500 and a percentage of the song's total sales for this initial push. On information and belief, UMG hired other unknown third parties to use bots to promote Not Like Us, and also to inflate the streams of the Not Like Us music video, The Video, which UMG first published on July 4, 2024. 10. UMG appears to have used similar tactics with other streaming services. On information and belief, UMG paid or approved payments to Apple Inc. to have its voice-activated digital assistant Siri purposely misdirect users to Not Like Us. Online sources reported that when users asked Siri to play the album Certified Lover Boy by recording artist Aubrey Drake Graham, DBA Drake, Siri instead played Not Like Us, which contains the lyric Certified Pedophile, an allegation against Drake. 11th. UMG engaged in similar pay-to-play schemes to increase the airplay of Not Like Us on the radio. Petitioner has obtained information from a third party indicating that at least one UMG employee made payments to an independent radio promoter serving as an intermediary who had agreed to transfer those payments to certain radio stations and/or radio station employees. These radio stations subsequently played or caused to be played Not Like Us without disclosing that they had been paid to do so. This practice, known as payola, is prohibited by the Communications Act of 1934, see 47 U.S.C. Sections 317, 508, and has been the subject of regulatory scrutiny by a number of executive agencies. In 2006, UMG agreed to pay $12 million in a settlement with the New York Attorney General following an investigation involving accusations that UMG executives had used a broad array of pay-for-play tactics to secure radio airplay for music. In connection with UMG's settlement, then New York Attorney General Eliot Spitzer explained, "Consumers have a right not to be misled about the way in which the music they hear on the radio is selected." He continued to say that pay-for-play makes a mockery of claims that only the best or most popular music is broadcast. Separately, in 2005, UMG was sued by 2 radio promotion companies alleging fraudulent pay-to-play practices. 12. While historically payola has been thought of in terms of paying radio stations to play songs, in February 2020, the Federal Trade Commission released guidance stating that by paying an influencer to pretend that their endorsement or review is untainted by a financial relationship, this is illegal payola. On information and belief, UMG employed a similar scheme by paying social media influencers to promote and endorse the song and video. For example, petitioner understands that UMG paid the popular NFR podcast, which has nearly 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, 23, and over 330,000 followers on X, 24, to promote Not Like Us and its video without disclosing the payment. As part of its deal with UMG, the NFR podcast published podcast episodes, tweets, and other content publicly about the song. And in a sea change for UMG's internal policy, UMG removed the song's copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the song for the first time in UMG history, which further incentivized influencers to spread the song. 13th, UMG's scheme to ensure Not Like Us broke through on Spotify and elsewhere worked. Not Like Us broke Spotify records, as Interscope posted on its X account. To date, Not Like Us has almost 900 million streams on Spotify 28 and holds the record for the biggest single-day streams of a hip-hop song and the most streamed diss track in Spotify history, Not Like Us, has spent 27 weeks on Spotify's City Chart for New York City, which ranks the weekly streaming popularity of songs by users in New York, New York. 15. Within a week of its initial release, Not Like Us broke the record for the most streamed song in a 7-day period with 96 million streams. After UMG published the video, Not Like Us returned to the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100, and in the same week, the song was streamed an additional 53.8 million times and played on the radio an additional 40 million times. From July 4th to August 8th, 2024, the video ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music videos chart. On November 13th, 2024, the iHeartRadio leaderboard reported that Not Like Us was the second most popular song on the platform. On New York radio, Not Like Us remains, as of the date of this filing, a top 40 hit on popular music and hip-hop stations, including Z100, Power 105.1, and WQHT 97.1 FM, Hot 97. From May 9th, 2024 to August 15th, 2024, the song was among the top 10 of all songs streamed in New York City. 16th, UMG touted the record-breaking success. On July 16th, 2024, Interscope reposted on X that the song had become the best-selling rap song of 2024 in the U.S. 37, on July 24th, 2024, UMG posted on its X account about the song charting as the most streamed song of the week. 38. On August 29th, 2024, UMG posted on its X account about the song charting as the most streamed song of the week. 2024, UMG posted on X with a link to a Summer Hits 2024 playlist by Spotify and the caption, Song of the Summer. UMG fam lands 4 out of 5 on at Spotify. Birds of a Feather off Billie Eilish, Hot to Go, A Chappelle Roan, Not Like Us, A Kendrick Lamar, Espresso, E Sabrina, and Lynn. 17. UMG's schemes to artificially inflate the popularity of Not Like Us were motivated, at least in part, by the desire of executives at Interscope to maximize their own profits. UMG executives have an annual incentive program pursuant to which they are rewarded for meeting and surpassing sales and profits projections, among other metrics. The incentives are largely based on the specific UMG division, rather than the performance of UMG more generally. For example, the annual incentive or bonus of Interscope's CEO, John Janik, is based 90% on the financial success of Interscope and only 10% on the financial success of UMG generally. Thus, on information and belief, Mr. Janik and other executives at Interscope have been incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope through the promotion of Not Like Us and its revitalizing impact on the artist's prior recording catalog, including his first 5 studio albums, which are owned by Interscope. 18. Petitioner has received information that UMG has been taking steps in an apparent effort to conceal its schemes, including, but not limited to, by terminating employees associated with or perceived as having loyalty to Drake. Indeed, UMG has demonstrated that it has no interest in taking responsibility for its misconduct. Over the past several months, Drake has repeatedly sought to engage UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions. UMG refused to engage in negotiations and insisted that UMG is not responsible for its own actions. Instead, UMG has pointed the finger at Mr. Duckworth, insisted that Drake should initiate legal action against Mr. Duckworth rather than UMG, and even threatened to bring its own legal claims against Mr. Duckworth if Drake were to pursue claims against UMG 19. Streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Every time a song breaks through, it means another artist does not. UMG's choice to saturate the music market with Not Like Us comes at the expense of its other artists, like Drake. As Drake is Petitioner's sole owner, and Petitioner owns the copyright to Drake's entire catalog, Petitioner suffered economic harm as a result of UMG's scheme. The party's 20. Petitioner Frozen Moments, LLC, is a limited liability company registered in the state of Florida. Frozen Moments is an entity wholly owned by Drake, through which Drake furnishes his recording services as a vocalist and musician, and is the copyright holder of Drake's sound recordings, including music videos. As such, Petitioner competes with Interscope. 21st. Respondent UMG is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Music Group NV, a publicly owned limited liability company incorporated under the laws of the Netherlands. UMG is a Delaware corporation, registered to do business in the state of New York. UMG has offices at 1755 Broadway, New York, New York, 10019 and 250 West 57th Street, New York, New York, 10107. UMG has divisions including, but not limited to, Interscope, which represents Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, and Republic Records, which represents Drake. Interscope's publicity team operates out of the 1755 Broadway office. 22nd. Respondent Spotify USA Inc. is a Delaware corporation with headquarters in New York City at 4 World Trade Center, 150 Greenwich Street, New York, New York, 10017. Spotify is a digital music, podcast, and video service. Jurisdiction and venue 23. This court has personal jurisdiction over UMG pursuant to CPLR 302. UMG regularly transacts business within the state, including by doing business and entering into contracts with New York-based Spotify, licensing and promoting music to streaming and radio broadcasting services within the state, and supplying its music management and publicity services in the state. The events at issue, including UMG's licensing contract with Spotify and payments to New York-based radio stations to inflate the popularity of the song, occurred within the state. 24. UMG also owns, uses, or possesses real property at its 1755 Broadway office, where it hosts offices for its catalog division and publishing arm, Universal Music Publishing Group. UMG employs numerous individuals within the state, as its marketing, partnerships, media, and properties, and publicity professionals groups operate out of its New York offices. 25. This court has personal jurisdiction over Spotify pursuant to CPLR 302. Spotify regularly transacts business within the state, including by doing business and entering into contracts with paying and non-paying subscribers based in New York and promoting its streaming services within the state. The events at issue, including Spotify's licensing contract with UMG, occurred within the state. Spotify uses its 4 World Trade Center, 150 Greenwich Street office as its corporate headquarters in the United States and employs numerous individuals within the state. 26. Venue is proper pursuant to CPLR 503C because a foreign corporation authorized to transact business in the state shall be deemed a resident of the county in which its principal office is located. Additionally, pursuant to CPLR 503A, a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claims occurred in the